Hello, I'm just topping off this raw umber for my new art toolkit palette, and I didn't fill it as expected, so stick around. Come on, let's join, because I've already filled this and I'm just topping it off now, so filling in the cracks and the holes that were left behind. And let's go look at it. You'd be surprised at what I put in this. I got these. I'm ready to film the filling of the art toolkit, the folio palette, for a trip coming up. And I'm wanting to get it as close as I can to this ultimate 24 set mixing palette, but I really don't have that much unless I put these little pans in there in this big one, and I'm not going to do that. So I've got these square pans. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then across 3, 15. So I am making some decisions here, and I think I've got more than 15 paints here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I've got to pare down, and I think I will pare down, and I'll tell you the reasons why I'm going to take these certain ones out. We do have Nickel Azo Yellow, which is not in the 24 set, but I'm going to take Nickel Azo Yellow out, or put it in, and then take Quinacridone Gold out, because I can take Quinacridone Burnt Orange and Nickel Azo Yellow and put a little bit of Quin Burnt Orange into Nickel Azo Yellow, and I can make myself a Quin Gold, because Quin Gold is PO48 and PY150, and those are these two exact pigments. So, and I can use Quin Burnt Orange for instead of a burnt sienna, which we talked about in another video. I'll link it below if you didn't see that. So I got that. And I've got the famous Perylene Green, the famous Raw Umber, and I'm working on my blues here. So I think I need a French Ultramarine, and instead of Quin Rose, I'm going to go with Quin Red. And I just like it better. I don't know why, but it just gives me a better payoff. So I can make it pink, and I can make a good purple out of it, and I can make a good orange out of it. So, gonna leave Hansa Yellow Medium in there, I think. And then I think I'm gonna put the Phthalo Blue green shade in there, and I think I'm gonna put Cobalt Blue. And I pulled out Lapis Lazuli Genuine, Lapis Lazuli Genuine, because I have 2 tubes, but I'm not for sure yet. So let me see where we are. And then I was going to put Green Apatite Genuine instead of Sap Green, I think. I'm not quite sure yet, but I do love Green Apatite Genuine. And of course, Perylene Green, which is beautiful. And then Indian Red, Burnt Orange. Let me put this Raw Sienna Light in there first, and then Indian Red, Burnt Orange, Raw Umber, and then I'm torn between Transparent Burnt Oxide and Burnt Umber. So this is very clean. It doesn't have any granulation in it at all, and I don't know. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of buff titanium, I'm putting Chinese white. I just like white better because I can tint it to a buff titanium if I want, or a warm white. And I love Chinese white or white in my skies with clouds. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Okay, let's just start, and we can, if I make a different decision, I can switch things around. I've got several palettes, several pans. One I started to fill and quit. So this is a smaller one. So, but I think I'll need these bigger square pans. I just like to use them as far as, you know, I don't have to dig with my brush. I can just lay them in there, lay my brush in there. And I'm going to swatch them out in my Etcher sketchbook because this is the sketchbook I'm going to take with me. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit different than they say on Art Toolkit's website. They say take the pans out, fill them once, twice, let them dry, fill them twice. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just put some paint in there. Basically how I fill my half pans and whole pans. And then I'm just going to take a toothpick and spread it around. Now you can do this however you want. This is just the way I'm doing it. And then tomorrow, after they cure, I'm going to top them off if they need it, if they've shrunk. But I can just see where I'm getting, and as I'm stirring, I'm seeing these little air bubbles come to the top. And see how that air bubble broke open? And that's just the best thing that I have success in not getting them to crack. So I'm going to wipe this off with a paper towel and go on to my next color, which is Hansa Yellow Medium. If I'm not too crazy about it, I can keep them pretty clean unless I get a little out of hand. Okay. I'll go to the edges. Hansa, and see, I can take that Green Apatite Genuine, add some yellow to it, and make it like sap green. Ah, I know which one I'm going to put in there. I think I'm going to get lavender. I think I have enough room for lavender. Okay. Let's stir this one up. Hopefully that won't make this video super, super long. Don't want you to get bored. I'll try to talk about something. I've been thinking about this all week, and I really enjoyed, you know, you guys in the comments from my last video, Raw Umber. Oh my gosh, Raw Umber. It's been a great video, and you guys have got some great comments and suggestions. I just really appreciate y'all. Okay, now this is Nickel Azo Yellow. It's a really bright yellow. I might have to get my tube crimper to squeeze these out because it's getting low. And I found several colors that I need to reorder. Okay, so I found my crimper, got the thing off, and I went looking for another couple colors because I changed my mind already. Shoot. Zoom in so you can see. I hope my head's not in the way. Okay, let's get this to the point to where it's spread out. But I think that I can make Quin gold and then save me a spot for a different color. And then I can have more versatility out of this small palette. So I wanted to do this video because I reached out to Art Toolkit and they give me a code, and I think it's DS Creative 10. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. I'll put it in the description for 10% off anybody that orders this Art Toolkit. So that's why I wanted to get this one up. But I wanted to show you the possibility of customizing your own palette, making it to the point to where it suits you. Okay, I think I'm good with Nickel Azo Yellow. This PY150, it is so good. I've got this from the toothpick this is Meeden paper. Let me find my brush. There it is. I'll show you what this Nickel Azo, look how bright it is. It can be a medium yellow, but then you can take it. I honestly think you could just do with the one yellow. So it's gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? This Meeden paper, I kind of like it too. So, okay, let's put the lid back on this. These are ones that I have done, so I'm going to set them right up here. Okay, my next one, and another way to level off your palette is to take a wet brush and just kind of tap down on it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this that's on my brush and let me zoom out. This is on my brush. I'm going to take here and swatch this out. I'm going to use 2 pages. And I'm not going to swatch out the white. But you can see how it lightens. Oh, still gorgeous. So you could use that for a mid yellow. You could use that for a deeper yellow. It's a good mixer. And here is Hansa Yellow Medium. So see, it's really close to that. So this is going to be my reference for this art folio. All right, so let's put that up there. And now I'm going to do quinacridone red. Put that right here. I'll clean this palette up after I'm done. It's got a couple little scratches on it. I've got some more pans ordered. And that's one thing. It's customizable. So, you know, you can change it up however you want. Quinacridone red. You know, if you just want to put a warm and a cool yellow, warm and a cool red, and a warm and a cool blue, and then they've got these mixing pans. Put that on there. They've got these mixing pans, big and small alike, that you can use and customize. You can make your palette as limited or, you know, as large as you want. So, all right. So there's quinacridone red. And, oh, I just don't know. I just don't know which blues I'm going to put in here. Okay. I think I am going to put lavender. I think lavender is really helpful in skies. So that's what I'm going to do. And then if I don't like it, I'll use it a little bit before I go. And then if I don't like it, I'll switch it out. Daniel Smith's lavender. I could mix it. Definitely could. But Daniel Smith's lavender has PV15, pigment violet 15, PV29, and white, PW6, which that's PW4, I think. But I don't know. There's a difference between Chinese white and titanium white. I'll use them both, but I like Chinese white better. And I'll show you why. They're great in clouds. If you want to see a cloud video or a sky video where I use Chinese white in clouds in the sky, let me know in the comments, because not everybody likes tutorials. Some people just like to nerd out on this color stuff, palette stuff, supplies. I'll put that down here. I'm just going to take this everyday sketchbook from Etcher because I want a good sketchbook. And that's my favorite. It's my favorite sketchbook. Okay. Now for ultramarine blue. I might have to use a crimper on this. I don't know. Yep, I think I'm going to have to. Some people are just filling up their look at that. It's just bouncing back and forth. They're just filling up their pans halfway. I don't know. I just want to fill them the whole way. I like a full pan. And Ashley Hawks, she was starting to fill them up halfway, but then she went back and filled them the whole way. So I was watching her video, and I was watching Art Toolkit's video on filling the pans. This ultramarine's really thick. I've had it for a while. And let's see, who else have I watched? I've done my due diligence, you know, as far as filling these things, and nobody really did them like this. But I just didn't want the mess of trying to get it all over my fingers. Let's make sure I got the camera on. I didn't want to get it all over my fingers trying to, well, look, I did get it all over my fingers, putting it in wet paint. Yeah, I'm making a mess. I guess it's inevitable. I guess it's inevitable. Let me just get some water here, and I can't stand the stickiness of it if I'm doing something. I don't mind it for a minute, but you know. Okay, ultramarine. Okay, and then cobalt. And I don't know, I had this lapis lazuli out too, and it was pretty. Let me just decide. I don't think I need 4 blues. Let's see, I've got cerulean blue chromium, and that's what's in there. French ultramarine and cerulean blue chromium. So, you know, I would like to have it in there because I was watching an art toolkit podcast where they had Jane Blundell on there, and she recommends chromium, cerulean blue chromium. That's pretty. It's good for skies, and you could even mix a little violet in there, or even, oh, I think I will. I think I'll put phthalo, cobalt. Do I need cobalt? I like cobalt for skies. I think it's a, more neutral blue. I'm looking out the window right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put cobalt. And I'm gonna not put lapis lazuli. Okay, I think I might need this chromium, cerulean blue chromium, but I need the cobalt too, I think. It looks like more of a true sky color. So let's put cerulean, or let's put cobalt blue first, because that's more neutral. Gosh, I gotta keep my finger up and away from that paint. All right, there we go. Swirl that around. I have some edits in this. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to get this video out to you because that discount code is only good until like September something. I'll put that in the description too. Okay, there's cobalt. Good color. That's a good blue. That's going over the edges. Oh my goodness. All right, and here is cerulean. This is kind of a mess. Uh-oh. I went over to the next pan. Oh, shoot. I guess this is just gonna be a mess no matter what. This is difficult. I thought I had it all figured out. Yeah, I thought I had it all figured out. Oh, I dread doing that phthalo. I think I need the phthalo, though. I could live without it, but I think the phthalo will just take me over. I don't like to waste paint. However, I've got some more lavender on my finger. Oh, gosh. Check it out. You guys see me get all OCD on camera. Get all messed up. Alright. To get that out, I'm going to take a brush here and put it on in my sketchbook. I'll put it over here too. This is cerulean. Let me get it. Okay. This is cerulean. Gorgeous sky. So that is is that the same? Cerulean cobalt. Oh yeah. The cerulean has a little bit more green in it. I wish I had some Q-tips out here. I don't think I do. I don't know about the phthalo. It might be a little bit easier. We're gonna see. We're gonna take a chance. And you know, on Art Toolkit's website, they say to condition I'm not putting a ton of phthalo in, I don't think. They say to condition the magnet with vegetable oil. So, and I did not do that. So right now the magnet is how it was meant to be. So this is phthalo blue green shade. And I'm not putting a ton in here. That's the way I think I should have did them all. I hope this video is not getting too long. All right. And I'll put that over here. And we'll swatch these out as we go, because I'm using a separate toothpick for everything. Okay, so now I have got to make a decision. Sap green, green apatite genuine, and perylene green. So perylene green is a for sure. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got to cut out 2. I don't know. I definitely want raw umber. And I had transparent brown oxide, quinacridone orange. I thought Indian red and raw sienna light and a convenience green. And then I wanted this Indian red in there. I probably shouldn't have put the lavender. I could take it out. I really like lavender. You know, when I looked on Brenda Swinson's website, she had another piece of magnet here, and she had other colors up here. I might do that. I don't reach for Indian red a ton, but I did like the way it worked. I think I'll do the green apatite genuine. I think I could make a sap green-like color by mixing, but the green apatite genuine has such a beautiful granulation and looks so natural. So I think I'm going to use that one as a convenience green. So here we go. I've got more pans coming, so I can change my mind. Let me squeeze it out some more. Green apatite genuine. Definitely a perylene green. All right, you people. You're going to think, oh my gosh. All right. Green apatite genuine. It's good. It's really good. Okay, now perylene green. I like lavender, so for now, I'm going to leave lavender in there. I might end up taking another color out, like one of the blues. Perylene Green made beautiful greens as well. Olive, natural. I'm going to put raw umber and transparent brown down here. And let's do raw sienna light. Whoa! That exploded. Let's get that out of there. All right. What a messy palette. I tell you, what they ought to do is have all the colors panned up in different sizes, and then you can buy them that way. Although, you know, it's more economical to buy the tubes. And once you do this, this will last for a while. There's raw sienna light. Put the lid back on. Always put your lids back on before you move on to the next task. The ever famous, oh, no, I'm going to put quinacridone burnt orange next. And I'm going to do this and use it as my burnt sienna. Because if you watch our mixing video the other day, I'll link that in the cards below because it was a good one too. I'll never have another palette without raw umber. Very nice. Last color. I was going to go with burnt umber, but I decided to go with transparent brown oxide. There's burnt umber and there's transparent brown oxide. I don't know, man. I was told to swatch them out before I made my decision. So let's just do that. Transparent brown oxide and burnt umber. So when I was making my decision on whether to put transparent brown oxide or burnt umber into this palette as the last color, I had decided on burnt umber. However, as I was putting it in the pan, my tube busted and it just was causing me all kinds of grief with the mess, and so I decided to go with transparent iron oxide, and so that's where we are. And that's my last tube of burnt umber. Our choice was made for us. So we're going to see how this works. It's just like 3 days. And I tell you, it has been so hot around here that nobody has wanted to go out and paint in my area. Very, very cool, very cool, very cool. So this will work, and raw umber can make a good dark too. Let me get cleaned up and I'll come back and we'll talk. You know, if you're going to fill it, be prepared for a mess. I still like the way, you know, leaving them in the pans, filling them while they're in the pans, because I would have definitely, I got messy and I switched out buff titanium for Chinese white. So I think that is, I'm going to spread this out a little bit. I used transparent brown oxide. So here's what I used. Here you can see all my swatchy yummy goodness, and I'm not taking any care whatsoever, but you can see the colors I used. I don't have them marked, but at the end of the video I will put a really cute little color chart picture and with the names underneath them, and you know, we will use this palette and it will be a good one. To start over, for my supplies, I have the Art Toolkit Folio palette. It's a magnetic palette and it has an assortment of pans. I've got another one and I have a demi palette, or I think it's a demi palette. I'm not for sure exactly what size of palette this is. And I have a sort of pans and mixing pans so I can switch things out whenever I feel like it. I can fill those pans and leave them, and if I decide I don't need a color or I want a different color, say I want to go to the ocean instead of, you know, painting a landscape, I might want to have a coral for the coral reef for shells, and you know, which I really, really love. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And then I have my Etcher sketchbook because I take Etcher on trips because I love the paper. And I like to make a spread when I do a trip. So, you know, I like to kind of plan it out and go in there with intention on what I'm going to do. For my water, I just use a makeup holder, 1, 2, 3. That way I got dirty water, cleaner water, and clean water. So that's cool. Got my paper a little wet. I have these little erasers if I need it. And let's just get started. So I put my pans in here a couple nights ago, and the only one I noticed that is cracking is this Green Apatite Genuine. Has a little bit of crack in it, so I might top it off, and the Chinese white. I'm not too worried about the Chinese white. You know, it's got enough binder in it that it's not going to fall out. So let's just see how opaque this Chinese white is. Maybe I'll use a little less water and a little bit more concentrated pigment, more like a cream. Now I'll let it dry because you can see the line a little bit, but I prefer Chinese white over titanium white. It's just not as blue. So that's why I like that. Okay, the other color, the next color I put in this is Hansa Yellow Medium. So I will put that in its mass tone. Rinse my brush. Dab it off a little bit. And then come up, grab it so I can pull it out. That's so pretty. That is so pretty. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, and this next one is an unexpected color because I took out quinacridone gold and instead I put nickel azo yellow because I can mix nickel azo yellow with quin burnt orange and make a quinacridone gold. There we go. And I'll write the names of these under. But look how beautiful that quinacridone gold. You can get a deep yellow and a real bright yellow. Some people say that they use it for their primary yellow. I haven't done that. But I really like these two. Okay, and the next one. Instead of quinacridone rose, like Jane Blundell recommends, I use quinacridone red. I don't know. I like it. I can get a really pretty purple out of it. And I can get a really pretty pink. You'll see. And I can get it like a fire engine red. Here's fire engine red. Quinacridone red. But if I rinse my brush and come up to it, you know, that really comes out really nice and pink. It's a PV19 and I think it's beautiful. And you get a lot of bang for your buck with quinacridone red. Okay, the next one I put in here is purely for my own benefit, convenience color, and that is lavender. Because I love lavender in skies. I like it for cloud shadows. You can mix it with a little bit of raw umber and get kind of a gray. I think it's gorgeous. Just beautiful. So when you go to paint outside, these are some different colors. Now, you know, you got to have your midtones, you got to have your darks. The next one I pulled up, I got a little bit of white in this blue, so I'm just going to pull it off. These pans are quite close together, and this one is Classic French Ultramarine, which is a really beautiful color. I thought it was the most sold color, I would guess. Somebody told me burnt sienna was, so I don't know. Good French Ultramarine, Daniel Smith. Good color. The next one is Cobalt Blue. Good one for skies. It's a more neutral blue, I think. I don't think it's green leaning or red leaning. I think it's just blue. If you get outside your lines, no big deal. I do all the time. But these are good mixing colors. Cobalt blue, good for skies. Next one, I couldn't get rid of it because, you know, I really think Jane Blundell knows her colors. So, and she called this one the Cerulean Blue Chromium and Earth Blue. It was more green leaning. So I think she's super smart and she's super methodical where watercolor is concerned. You know, so there you've got 3 different blues, and I think you can tell where this Cerulean Chromium is a little bit more green leaning. And now we have our coolest blue, strongest blue, crazy blue, don't need much of it blue, phthalo blue, green shade. And I put this in my palette in case there was water or to mix some greens. Because you can mix some really pretty greens with phthalo blue green shade. So there's one, you can see how it goes from kind of purpley to regular blue to kind of blue-green to blue-greener, almost turquoise. Okay, and the next color I put in, you know, the other ultimate palette on the Art Toolkits website by Jane Blundell, designed by her, was sap green. I took sap green out and I put in green Apatite Genuine because I love its granulation and I feel like I can make it sap green by adding a little nickel azo yellow. So it's really, really gorgeous. You can get it to a really good dark and you can, you know, it's just natural. I just think it's natural. I like sap green, but I prefer green Apatite Genuine. And it is a Primatech color. And so sap green would be fine, or hooker's green. This next one I have in here is one that we did some mixing on in another video. And if you want to see that, I'll link that in the end cards and my color mixing playlist. And it's Perylene green. Oh gosh. Makes beautiful greens, beautiful darks. Mixes wonderfully. Just a gorgeous I don't think I'll ever go without this color either. And I'll write these numbers down, or these names of these colors down, and hold it up at the end and give you so you can do a screenshot. So the next color I picked, that she picked Geothite because of its granulation, which is a yellow earth tone. I picked Raw Sienna Light. And I picked Raw Sienna Light because of the way it moves. I think it's a little cleaner in mixes. And I think it glows more than Geothite or yellow ochre you could use if you have it. It's just your preference. You make these your palettes. These are to, this will be my palette. You make it the way you want to. I'm just telling you why I make it the way I do. Okay, the next one. Oh, this quinacridone burnt orange. I'm going to use instead of burnt sienna. It's really orange. It's really bright and glows. But you can mix this with green. Make some really pretty greens with it. Make quinacridone gold with it. Just a beautiful, beautiful color. Really gorgeous. Raw umber. It did some amazing things with other colors. Here I'm just mixing around and having some fun with raw umber again because I just loved it. I just loved it. It is one of my favorite colors and I will never be without it in a palette again. So, okay, last color is transparent brown, transparent brown oxide. Rich, transparent brown. Beautiful. I think it's really pretty. And there you go. I'm going to put a swatch of this under here. I'm going to put a swatch of this green under Perylene. And now I'm going to write the colors down. So I might speed you up through this process because this has to dry first. So I'll be right back. Let me hold this up for you so you can take a screenshot if you'd like. This is just the way I put my palette together. You don't have to use these colors. You can use any colors you want, and you don't have to fill it the way I did. A lot of people took their palettes out and then filled their palettes and then let them dry and then put them in and followed Art Toolkit's instructions perfectly. you know, the way I look at it, you know, nobody's gonna die, and you can do this the way you want to. So this is my palette. They come in all different kinds of palette sizes. There's this, I don't know if this is the Demi. You know, I've got these colors in it, and I might fill this, not for a while, because this was messy, but I like it now that it's all together. So you know, you might want to dedicate an afternoon to do this, because it does take some time. I have another folio palette. I seen where I started filling some little bitty pans. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. I seen where one artist on YouTube had a couple mixing palettes in the center, and then had some bigger pans around the edges. So, you know, I might do something different next time. So get yourself over there. They had a coupon code for me until September 20th, and it was DS Creative 10. So I put that on the screen near the beginning of the video, and I'll put it in the description below and the pinned comment. So let me know. What do you think? Would you use different colors? I picked lavender as a convenience color, but I'll use it as a mixer. You know, I could use French ultramarine blue and raw amber, French ultramarine blue and transparent brown oxide, or even this quinacridone burnt orange. I just have a lot of mixing options here. So that's why I like it. And let me know if you like this setup, or would you do something different? Let me know. Give me a hype, subscribe, like video, push it out there. I've had wonderful comments. I've had a blast talking to you guys in the comments this week. So I'll talk to you later, and I got more content. So I'll keep on keeping on. I've had a lot of good comments. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and your views, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you can give me a hype, I think that really helped. So talk to you later. Bye.